Many of our largest customers use SAP. Well, now it's easier to integrate with SAP with a newly redesigned SAP connector, shared data sources, load balanced connections, and thousands of sample apps and flows for you to reference and use or just outright steal. Jon Gilman shows us how Power Platform SAP integration is not just easier, but more enterprise scale than ever today on PowerCat Live. Welcome to PowerCat Live. My name is Phil Topnis from the PowerCat team, and today I'm here with Jon Gilman. We're going to talk all about everything SAP. Hey, Jon.
Hey, how you doing?
So Jon, we're going to talk about SAP integration, and every one of our enterprise customers, it seems like, has SAP. But we already had an SAP playbook and people connecting into SAP. What's different now? What's coming out?
You know, a lot of people consider SAP a black box sometimes because it's so difficult to integrate with. So if we're getting them templates where the app works day one and you can tweak it to meet your needs, then we're talking about transforming a process in weeks and days even instead of years and months.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it's a huge improvement in time to value. So we'll have about 250 pre-delivered Power Apps and about 4,000 pre-delivered Power Automate flows.
Holy cow.
Yeah. All focused around SAP integration.
That's got to be like decades of knowledge all inside those.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you took, a bunch of people who have been doing SAP integration for, 30 or 40 years and built it into a product, that's what you get. Because honestly, that's what our platform was. And that's what we're bringing into the Power Platform.
Oh, that's amazing. And so I'm happy to take your apps and your automations. I'm very happy to take them. If I want to build my own, is it still complicated as before, or is it easier?
Yeah, it's definitely much easier. So one of the things we've done behind the scenes is we've created one unified connector between Logic Apps and Power Automate. Before they were actually separate SAP connectors. And then there were also some features that were missing from the Power Automate SAP connector before. So things like load balance connections into SAP to support huge volumes of users. It wasn't there before. But it was also really difficult to integrate with complex APIs in SAP. Some of these APIs have 30 or 40 arguments. Each one of those arguments may have 200 or 300 fields. So, do the math. We're talking about
nightmarish.
Thousands of data fields, and people have no idea what they are. So, we're creating a more intuitive UI in Power Automate that allows folks to, look at the complex API in SAP, look at the data mappings, and integrate much easier than they could before. Another big issue we found too with the user interface was that we were making our flow makers, whether they're partners or customers, enter the same connection information for SAP over and over and over again. So if you had 1,000 flows, you would have to enter your SAP connection information 1,000 times. So we're creating a separate area now for IT admins to go in and create what we're calling a new data source. So they'll set up, things like, the IP address of the SAP application server, things that, flow makers might not know, nor should they know, and do it in a way that it can just be referenced going forward for the flow makers. So they just pick it from a drop down. So it'll be much easier for them to maintain their integrations. We also have new specialized functions within Logic Apps that are used within the expression language of Power Automate that allow you to transform, strange, data concepts within SAP. So for those who have been deep in the weeds, we know that end users, business users are always going to ask us to remove leading zeros from master and transactional data and then put it back when we want to go back and integrate back into SAP. So those functions are just going to make it that much easier for our partners and customers to work with SAP data.
Somewhere a very small group of people that have been pained by leading zeros in SAP are cheering your name right now.
Yeah, well, that group might be bigger than you think.
Okay, that's fair. That's good. That's why we're here, yeah. This sounds like it makes SAP integration easier, more citizen developer friendly, but is it also enterprise ready?
Well, prior to the new SAP connector, it really wasn't. So two of the biggest complaints we were getting from our customers was, one, we couldn't support load balance connection. With this new merged connector where we're taking the Logic Apps and Power Automate SAP connectors and merging them together, we're providing that that load balance connection that allows you to have 150,000 concurrent users without any performance degradation.
Nice.
The other big complaint was that single sign-on was very, very difficult to set up. And we're making that a very seamless experience with this new connector where you can just say, look, your users are authenticating against Active Directory. Anyone running Office 365 is already doing this. And now we're able to take that and map it straight to SAP without any complex setup.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah, it's big.
And so this does sound like it makes it easier, but you mentioned earlier, right, like, 300 parameters that SAP takes. How do you make it easier to just understand the SAP side of using SAP, even through automation?
Yeah, so there's two pieces of that. One is the pre-delivered content we're bringing. So as we alluded to earlier, we'll have about 4,000 pre-delivered SAP flows within Power Automate that already are connected to APIs. But within our new user experience around complex API actions, we're actually going to have little icons, information icons that you can click on. It will actually show you the definition of the API in SAP. It will show you all the data fields it's expecting, but it'll be in a nice, elegant format that allows the flow maker to cross-reference that data side by side with their actual flow when they're configuring flows in Power Automate. So yeah, it's powerful stuff.
That is. And if someone needs to learn how to use all this, what resources are available so they can get started?
So what's really cool is we're going to create a learning series out of this. So what we realized when we talked to a lot of our customers is they said, kind of like one of my favorite 1970s rock songs, I'd love to change the world, but I don't know what to do. They said, I'd love to digitally transform SAP, but I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
It's kind of a full suite of learning modules that will allow them to get from saying, hey, I'm interested in transforming SAP to, hey, I'm live in production and I've got 65,000 users entering purchase orders in Power Apps.
That's a lot of content.
Yeah, it's huge. So it's a big thing that's been underway for several months now. But once it's there, I think what it's really going to do is allow our customers to sort of self-educate on the fly. They don't necessarily need to come to an in-person training course. They can take these self-guided training modules and get up and running very quickly.
And so where do you go from here, right? This is a lot that's launching right now. What do you have next planned?
Yeah, so the SAP functionality we're bringing to Power Automate and Power Apps is actually going to continue to be extended into all the other areas of the Power Platform. So when we talk about Dataverse kind of being the centralized hub for all of the data, there are going to be virtual table models built on top of SAP that allow you to model the way you do business and have that flow through all the different products. Process Insights is going to have some deep SAP integration capabilities, essentially expanding all of this functionality to all the other components of the Power Platform and then possibly bringing it into Microsoft Dynamics as well.
That is a tremendous amount of content. The link is in the description if you want to test it out. Jon, thanks so much for being here.
All right. Thanks, Phil.